Good afternoon, and welcome to debateTECH Live, brought to you by Security Systems News. Thanks for joining us. The goal with this event is to provide key bits of information that will drive technology forward and enhance the knowledge of the industry. This event brings together leading manufacturers of video technology. They'll discuss challenges and share their solutions and benefits. It's really the perspective of three competitors that makes this interesting. While they may agree on some points, I think we'll see some differences. So the format today is pretty simple. We get to hear each manufacturer present on their technologies, talking about their offerings and benefits. From there, we have a rapid-fire Q&A. There will be fielded questions, and each panelist will have 1 minute to answer, and this will be timed. You may hear two bells, so at 1 minute, the bell goes off, and if they are just finishing up on what they were saying, they get another 30 seconds, second bell, they're done. After the Q&A, we will ask attendees to answer one polling question, and that's to really determine a winner. Let's be perfectly clear in this. The three participating companies are outstanding in what they do. Their technologies and direction may differ, but they offer us, the industry, the opportunity to choose the best product and technology for our business. I thank all three for joining us in the first debateTECH. So with that, I do want to just introduce the sponsors. We have Axis Communications, Hanwha Techwin America, and Hikvision. Axis offers intelligent security solutions that enable smarter, safer world. As the global market leader in network video, Axis is driving the industry by continually launching innovative network products based on an open platform, delivering high value to customers through a global partner network. Axis has long-term relationships with partners and provides them with knowledge and groundbreaking networks in existing and new markets. Axis has more than 2,000 dedicated employees in 49 countries around the world, supported by a network of over 75,000 partners across 179 countries. Founded in 1984, Axis is a Sweden-based company listed on NASDAQ Stockholm under the ticker AXIS. Hanwha Techwin America. Hanwha Techwin's world-class imaging technology is now applied to more diverse business areas, including access control and intruder detection. Their products play an important role for safety and happiness of people by protecting cities, airports, seaports, industrial areas, and military installations. We will continually provide high-resolution, high-performance, and high-reliable premium security products and achieve the social value of safety and comfort. Hanwha Techwin will advance towards becoming the world's best total security solutions provider by offering a one-stop security solution, facilitating the global network and continuously conducting research and development. With that, I should also be forwarding some slides for you so you can follow along with me. How's that? So, Hikvision. Hikvision is the world's leading supplier of video surveillance solutions featuring the industry's strongest R&D workforce. Hikvision designs, develops, and manufactures innovative standard and high-definition cameras, including a variety of smart IP cameras with infrared, wide dynamic range, facial detection, object counting, and intrusion detection capabilities, analog cameras with vandal-resistant properties, and cameras featuring the latest high-definition analog technology. Hikvision's product suite also includes digital video servers, hybrid and standalone DVRs, NVRs, speed domes, encoders, decoders, and other elements of sophisticated security systems and CCTV technology for both indoor and outdoor use. Our panelists today, and I'm going to go through this real quick and then we'll hear from them. James Marcello of Axis Communications is the Director of Technical Services for Axis Communications. In this role, James oversees technical support and industry associations for North America operations. Mr. Marcello joined Axis in 1996 as the Business Development Manager. In this position, he managed the company's Application Development Partner Program for North America, finding best-in-breed software developers to create applications specifically for Axis's network video products. He later served as Government Solutions Manager and was responsible for developing the country's authorized dealer channel and growing the business in the federal market. He is an instructor for ASIS National Education Program and is a member of the leadership team of the ASIS Physical Security Council. Tom Cook of Hanwha Techwin America is Vice President of Sales at Hanwha. Prior to joining Hanwha, Cook served as Director of Sales at Vicon Industries, National Sales Manager at Panasonic, and Director of Sales and Marketing, Commercial Electronic Systems at Mosler Inc. His skills include physical security, solution selling, alarm systems, IP, CCTV, security management, system design and integration, etc. He holds a bachelor's degree in electrical and electronic engineering degree from the New Jersey Institute of Technology. Finally, we have David Stanfield. David recently joined Hikvision USA as a product manager for solution products. Dave is responsible for strategic positioning and product marketing for PTZ systems and solution product offers, including thermal imaging cameras, hazardous area cameras, and products intended to increase penetration into specific vertical markets. Dave has 19 years of experience in the video security industry with a career spanning product management, product marketing, and global business development. Okay, that's all for me for now, until we get to the Q&A. I'd like to turn it over to James Marcella, who will take control of the slides and talk about Axis Communications. From James, we'll then get to Tom Cook of Hanwha, and then to Dave Stanfield of Hikvision. So James, it's all you.
Great. Thanks a lot, Tim. And I'd like to also start by thanking everyone who's attending today, as well as our sponsor or hosting partner, Security System News. Today, I'm going to really focus on 4 key areas. And Tim, the slides aren't advancing.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
Click the mouse, maybe you'll have control.
Got it. Okay, so I'm going to focus on 4 key areas: analytics, information or cyber security, compression, and finally image usability. So let's start right off and jump in with analytics. And there we go. In most cases, video is a reactive tool. It's reviewed after the fact to determine what happened at a particular scene. Analytics enable a security practitioner to leverage video as a proactive tool that mitigates risks as the event unfolds. Moving from a reactive to a proactive model increases the value of video solutions. Axis Camera Application Platform is an easy way to extend a product's core functionality. As we have more processing power than needed for normal operation, we can utilize this for other purposes. This enables security professionals a way to customize the offerings and offer a unique solution. ACAP has been in our product since 2009. Applications are continuously developed, providing more types of add-ons and applications for the industry. This will give the system integrator the freedom to pick and choose the best VMS and camera add-on for specific customers they're working with. Analytics are not just about physical security, loss prevention, and life safety. Today, savvy integrators and end users are leveraging analytics to impact the bottom line. By repurposing existing security cameras, organizations can provide new ways to leverage their investment, and security practitioners can deliver additional value to those organizations. Retail is a great example of this. This is an industry segment that has invested heavily in video surveillance, with a primary goal for loss prevention. In many cases, the field of view of a camera is conducive for business intelligence purposes, such as traffic patterns of people walking through the store, dwell time of customers in front of displays. From a physical security perspective, there are many solutions available, with the most widely deployed analytic being video motion detection. The industry is seeing a strong interest in other applications such as cross-line detection, facial recognition, and perimeter protection, to name a few. But on the other hand, audio analytics are also increasing as organizations from schools to municipalities leverage the onboard audio capabilities of cameras to detect things such as aggressive voices or gunshots. Launched in 2009, it took 4 years for us to get 7 applications to the market. But in a period of the last 2 years, that has actually grown by 10 times that amount. With a limited number of Axis branded solutions, the vast majority of edge-based analytics that we offer today come from our partners, some of which are listed on this slide. Our development tools and APIs have remained consistent over the past decade, providing a reliable platform for development. Our investment in solutions and partners will continue to help drive the industry to a more proactive use of video for security, life safety, as well as business applications. So let's talk about another big area, and that's cybersecurity and what that means for Axis. So the Wall Street Journal reported, we all probably read about the Target hack via stolen credentials from an HVAC vendor that resulted in hundreds of millions of dollars in losses. As a security practitioner and system integrators who service them, you don't want to get a call in the middle of the night or in the morning informing you that your company's networks have been compromised and the starting point or jump-off point for that was a network camera that's under your responsibility. The responsibility to secure the network and devices falls across the entire vendor supply chain, not just the end user organization. Manufacturers, developers, and system integrators all play a role in ensuring customers have a secure solution. When we categorize Axis's offerings in this area, there's really two main groups. From a product perspective, Axis Product Management and R&D continuously monitors cybersecurity trends. We even have a team that's specifically just focused on this practice. Our products are based on Linux. The open source community is consistently monitoring and updating both kernel and services when vulnerabilities are identified. We have published a product hardening guide that provides our customers with a baseline configuration and step-by-step instructions for enabling or disabling parameters to meet your particular security threat level. Like most network cameras, Axis products provide system interfaces such as HTTPS for encryption, 802.1x for authentication, SNMP monitoring, IP address filtering, and other standard information security operations or options such as passwords. These should be looked at as the bare minimum that a manufacturer offers. Threats need to be managed at a system level, which is why our service offering starts with our partners in our ecosystem. Axis works closely with partners that make up the total physical security solution, from switch manufacturers to PC server platform manufacturers, VMS developers, and others to develop edge-to-core hardened cyber solutions. We provide tools for managing our products as well as common vulnerability and exposure reports, or CVEs. This is a standard practice in the IT sector and will be a welcome sign to any IT professionals on your staff. It indicates the level of commitment we have to the security of our products. It's what they expect from companies that are putting things on their network. I jumped ahead too far there, sorry. Backing up. So this is a screenshot from our website, and really what this is the product security portal. Here you can download our vulnerability policy, which basically explains exactly how to contact us if you discover a vulnerability in our product and what you can expect we're going to do about it after you've contacted us. It also lists the CVE reports that I just mentioned. The last slide that identifies the vulnerabilities of what we do and what you need to do with regards to them. You can also download the hardening guide here, and I encourage everyone who deploys our products to download that guide and read it. Cybersecurity really is not just for IT folks anymore. We have to take that into account. So Zipstream and video compression. There's a lot of talk about video compression and the looming introduction of H.265 or HEVC, high efficiency video coding. I'm sure there will be more discussion about that in the Q&A later on. The challenges of moving to a new video compression standard have led companies to rethink exactly what they're doing when they move to H.265. H.264 is a de facto recording standard within our industry today. 2 years ago, Axis introduced Zipstream. Simply put, we stayed within the H.264 standard, but were able to reduce bandwidth on average by 50% while maintaining the forensic quality of the video. The reduced bitrate translates directly into storage savings, which make up the bulk of the video system's cost. We are matching and in many ways surpassing the savings claims that H.265 will bring to the market. This next slide, if it worked, you would get to see a live video of two different camera scenes showing one with a Zipstream on and one with it off. If you going to back up to that one. If you look at the top of the picture, you will see on the left-hand side that the different bit rate between the two. The difference between the left-hand picture and the right-hand picture is approximately 30% difference between the two. The video went on to show additional scenes that ultimately ended up in about a 70% savings from one to the other when Zipstream was turned on or off. I'm sorry that that didn't work out. This diagram, though, illustrates the relative bandwidth savings that can be achieved by H.264 and H.265 over MPEG-4. As you noticed, when we enable Zipstream, you can actually achieve up to 70% savings and have a lower bit rate than what is possible with today's H.265 deployments. To understand what we're doing in Zipstream, you really need to understand two concepts. Region of interest, or dynamic region of interest, are the areas of video that we want to preserve as security professionals that are important to us. In this scene, the people walking across that cobblestone square are really what most security professionals would be interested in. Zipstream identifies these moving objects within the image as regions of interest and compresses them at a lower rate. The static buildings, cobblestone walkway, etc., gets compressed at a much higher rate, and there is essentially the bulk of the savings. Dynamic GOP, or group of pictures, provides further savings. I won't go too much into this, but basically by increasing the length of the GOP during times of movement, there are less iframes and therefore less bandwidth and storage used. The real value of Zipstream is that it's a dynamic algorithm. It knows what's happening within the image and it applies compression appropriately. When you look at these two images digitally rendered below, the one on the right has a lot more deeper blue in it. Think of those areas as being much higher compressed than the areas that are of a green or light bluish hue. That's where the savings are in. When things are moving around, that's what we're interested in, and that's where we want to make sure we retain the forensic value. So let's face it, in an average 24-hour period, most security video is rather boring stuff. Zipstream dynamically adapts to this and increases compression level when it needs to. If someone breaks in the middle of the night, it automatically adapts. The intruder will be categorized as a region of interest, and Zipstream will decrease the compression level so that you retain the forensic quality. And finally, the last thing that I'm going to talk about is image usability, and it's really defined by the operational requirement of a particular scene. Security practitioners define this as detection, recognition, or identification, and there's typically pixel counts assigned to each one of those. It also requires situational awareness with appropriate color rendition as well as frame rate. Let's quickly look at some technologies that Axis provides to assist in this. So, forensic capture, wide dynamic range. Axis wide dynamic range forensic capture provides unparalleled detail in an image later forensic view. When we look at this image without forensic capture turned on and then with forensic capture turned on, you can see there's a lot more detail in the second picture, including detail about colors, what the sign reads. If you can speak Swedish there and zoom in a little bit, you actually get much more detail, which is really important for reviewing after the fact. Another technology that we have introduced is called optimized IR, and it really works in two ways. First of all, the angle of illumination automatically matches the field of view of the camera, ensuring that the scene is adequately illuminated. This really helps with installation, ease of use for installation. Your installers don't have to worry about matching the correct field of view from the IR illuminator to the camera itself. As objects start to move closer to the camera actually adapts its exposure rate. Our Swedish art thief here does not get overexposed as she gets closer and closer to the camera, and thus we don't lose the details, which obviously are very important from an image usability and forensics perspective. That takes me to the end of my presentation. My movie didn't work, so I might be finishing up a little bit early, but I do look forward to the Q&A section, and thank you again for taking the time today.
Thank you, James. And next we're going to hear from Tom Cook of Hanwha Techwin America. So Tom, it's all you.
No. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. And again, I also want to thank Tim and Security Systems News for putting this together and inviting us. I think it's a great forum and look forward to the whole thing today. So I'd like to talk about Hanwha Techwin and who we are at first, because I think a lot of people might have some misleading information possibly by our competitors. So basically, I'd like to give you some events that happened over the last 2 years. Samsung Techwin America is now Hanwha Techwin America. Back in December of 2004, we announced that Hanwha Techwin, or Hanwha Corporation, would take over Samsung Techwin worldwide. In July of 2015, we completed the transaction, and Samsung Techwin became Hanwha Techwin in Korea as a publicly traded company on the Korean Stock Exchange. But we decided to keep all international companies as Samsung Techwin Europe, Samsung Techwin America. In March of 2016, this year, we decided to change our company name as Hanwha Techwin America instead of Samsung Techwin America, and followed that on April 1st. The key that I think people don't understand is we've never been part of Samsung Electronics. We were a public company within Samsung Holding, who held 78 separate companies. We were a $2.6 billion corporation, again, public, and still are. Although our company name has changed, the company is identical. Innovation, quality, reliability of our products will remain the same under the same personnel. And also, the product will continue to be branded Samsung because we corporately own that product branding and can keep it as long as we'd like to. So what does that mean? I mean, Hanwha Techwin has over 500 R&D engineers. We design our own chipsets. We design product from chip all the way to finished goods. We also have multiple manufacturing facilities, 650 people in them, manufacturing product in multiple countries to maximize getting products to the industry. With that, we have over 900 global salespeople and marketing personnel attacking markets all over the world. I think what we're famous for, and how we'll continue to be famous for, is innovative product introductions, our WISE-Net 3 technology. What we did, again, as I mentioned before, we develop our own proprietary DSP chips. And I think it's very important to understand that not only do we develop them, but we don't share them. We don't resell them. We don't share them. Most of the industry, there's probably 200 video vendors out there and constantly adding or changing. And there's only a few companies that actually design their own chipsets. And we are the only company that does not resell their chip technology. So it's unique to us. And I think that's important going through and marketing our product. So talking about our chip technology, our core technology, this is really what drives our business and our core business. Hanwha is especially proud of the fact that we've developed this product from 2008, starting with our WISE-Net chip back then, and continued our development in our R&D with WISE-Net S, WISE-Net 2, WISE-Net 3, and which came out in April 2013 and has become one of the standards in our industry, as a lot of people have known it. And the end of this year, we'll see WISE-Net 5. Very, very exciting time for us to introduce a new DSP that you're going to see a lot of H.265 product, compression product, and features built-in analytics that will surpass the industry once again. So the next slide, which is not working right now. There you go. And I'm jumping. Now we jumped. Okay. So basically, part of the WISE-Net 3 product line is built around the chipset. And this product deals with 1.3 megapixel, 2 and 3 megapixel technology. The key to it is its feature set that were unsurpassed when introduced. Wide dynamic range up to 3 megapixel, 30 FPSs at 120 dB. So to give you an example of that, it's the highest decibel rating with wide dynamic range, which gives you the largest range out in the industry for 3 megapixel. We've introduced features like defog, which no one had at the time. Very popular, especially pulling out the contrast of the fog or smoke. A lot of university stuck in Massachusetts or wherever the hills need this to even have a security system that works in the morning. We introduced your 60-frame device, and again, if a lot of people understand frame technology, the more frames you have, the more you can do with, and the better quality of your video will be. The 60 frames allows us to produce multiple profiles. We can have up to 10 profiles on our WiseNet 3 camera. This exceeds anyone's out there. Most people support 3 to 5 profiles at best. And again, multiple features that are in there as multi-cropping and enhanced bandwidth utilization, which is built into our chip automatically. So regardless of H.264 or ZipStream, enhanced bandwidth utilization has been around back since 2013. More importantly is video analytics, and I think everyone in this industry understands, the importance of video analytics and where the industry is going from bandwidth compression and big data. We all face the growing requests for higher megapixels, and what we've done at Hanwha Techwin is to develop the product at the edge where the analytics can produce what is necessary to the VMS or the MVR and also the compression. So the one thing that the WiseNet 3 cameras that we produce with the chipset is we build in 9 analytics that come without licensing fee. And I think that's very important because what's happening in the industry is, we have a lot of analytic companies and a lot of product out there, but ultimately the cost of the analytics and the setup and the server fees and what have you prevent people from utilizing a great technology. We've added analytics into the chipset, so they're free of charge. They can be used at any time, scheduled out. Features like appear and disappear detection, virtual line, enter, exit detection, tamper for any of those paintballers out there shooting at the cameras, face detection, and even audio detection for censoring on a dB level. So an exciting piece of it, and that's really where we excel, is the analytic market and preventing the data that's just being sent and throttling it utilizing analytics. Similar to the Axis product, we do have open platform, and ours works slightly different, that we don't use the SD card for open platform. We use the processor and the onboard memory. Our partners are able to utilize our chipset and our SDKs of adding features above and beyond the security requirements. There's plenty of the analytics built into it, added in, so we don't need to add partners to do that. But if you want to grab a license plate recognition analytic, you can add that just like an app for your cell phone. You can add it just to our camera. This allows you to have the camera based solely that one camera as license plate without buying and taking a whole server just for one camera or 2 cameras on your entire system. You can then add to your analytics, multiple analytics to be added to a camera because of the processing power of our chip. You can add people counting, queue management, and many other features. This is just the start of where we see the industry, and we'll talk about that in the Q&A of what's going to happen in the future, artificial intelligence, and using this in the healthcare environment. H.265 compression is a standard compression technology for video transmission. It is available for everyone to use. We have adopted all of our cameras and made a conscious decision to build in our codecs. We have a triple codecs on all our cameras now that support H.265, H.264, and then JPEG. It's important to note that the reasons to move to H.265 is because the compression is better. It's an advanced technology from 264, and with that said, you can have a savings of at least 30 to 50%, depending on the movement in the field of view and what's happening in the field of view. But again, all of our products are all of our cameras and all of our NVRs now supported. So we're the first company that support a full solution of H.265 compression. Very important to move to that platform. At the same time, we support H.264, so buy a camera today, run it on 264, change the profile or pick a profile to be on 265. You can run live on 264, and you can record on 265 on another profile. So you get the best of both worlds, so why not take advantage of it? On top of that, all of our cameras, Q-Series, P-Series cameras that we've introduced, shown them at ISC West, now incorporate a feature called Y-Stream technology. Y-Stream technology is technology from it's a subset of H.264 and 265, very similar to the technology mentioned before, and that technology affords our customers and our integrators, again, a bandwidth savings of about 30 to 50%. If you combine the technologies, you get even better. So again, all cameras, all NVRs from Hanwha Techwin now support H.265 and 264, and again with the Y-Stream technology, and you're getting everything in one camera and NVR. Okay. Just touching. And again, if you look at the reduction, you'll see the bandwidth on the bottom down there, how it reduces with Y-Stream on. And again, it's utilizing the iframe, and if you're going on changes in the scene, as James mentioned, on the defined areas. And just to give you a really quick identification of what that means to you, if the system itself was running on an H.264 compression, and you're sending 10 megabits at one time, if you utilize Y-Stream, you drop that down to about 5 megabits. If you did it just on H.265, you'd probably see the same amount of compression, about 50% off of 264. But if you put them together, and that's really what we're going for, H.265 with Y-Stream will drop at about 75% of the standard encoding on H.264. So again, these are all great features to bring to the market, to see that as people want to see, 8 megapixel cameras, 12 megapixel cameras, multi-sensor cameras, all those type of features, and it's just bigger and better for our customers as they're being introduced in the consumer market to 4K technology. All they want is 4K now. So to provide 4K quality, we want to give them the picture of a 4K quality, but we want to do it at the bandwidth of a 1080p full HD. And that's really what we're doing, utilizing H.265 and Y-Stream. You get that quality of the 4K and the size, but you're getting the compression. So that's really what we focus on in R&D, and bringing those quality and technologies and product to the industry. And I thank you, and I'll pass it to Dave.
Excellent. Now, David, all you. Go ahead. Dave?
Sorry, guys, I was on mute. I didn't take myself off. So want to thank everybody for attending, and want to thank our other debate partners for what they're doing. And really, to get started, I want to, because everybody I think knows Hikvision pretty well. So I want to make 2 points related to this slide. And one of them is the amount of reinvestment that Hikvision does within their R&D endeavors. And we do this, last year we invested 8% of our revenue back into R&D, over $310 million. And that is really to drive our products forward, drive our technology forward, and drive usability and the customer experience forward. And the second point I would make here is our investment in the North American market. Out of 240 employees in the U.S. and Canada, over 110 of those employees are dedicated to the field. They're in the field every day supporting our customers, whether it's in sales, sales engineering, supporting national accounts, or channel support. And I think both of these key items really demonstrate the commitment that Hikvision has not only to the greater security market in general, but also to the North American market. See if I can get somebody's playing with the mouse, I think. Anyway, so let's talk about some of the key Hikvision strengths. And when we were presented with the topics for this debate, which you can see there in bullet form, I think it's very important to consider a partner for products and services that can really bring together all of these technologies into more or less an end-to-end solution. And so with that in mind, Hikvision is able to offer NVRs, DVRs, cameras, transmission products, monitors, and more to really deliver very, very high-performing solutions in the industry that address each one of these concerns. And with that, we'll jump right into it. So, you know, when we talk about 4K solutions, it really starts with the camera. You know, 8 million pixels on a camera is going to be able to produce incredible scene detail. More pixels means more scene. And in the couple images I have here, taken from our 4K PTZ, which, by the way, won the New Product Showcase Award at the last ISC West for a megapixel camera, you can see that those 8 million pixels deliver a very, very high-density image. And you can see from the two blocks that we've pulled out in that image that in one instance you can see that where with such a depth of field and such a wide scene, we can't really get a lot of detail. But when you zoom in on that detail to about 2 times the optical limit, you can see that we can produce incredible detail in an area that would otherwise be very difficult to see. In addition to that, when we look at that building that's on that upper square, which is about 1.7 miles away from that wide-angle view, you can see that about a 2 times digital magnification, which is 72x, so 30x with 2x digital, we get incredible detail. So, you know, this dramatically improves the performance of cameras by producing clearer images and better digital zoom. But it also improves performance of analytics and forensic searches. And Hikvision is uniquely able to offer an end-to-end solution that incorporates DVRs, cameras, and monitors to deliver full 4K solutions to the industry. Let's talk a little bit about video compression and storage. And Hikvision, again, is a leader in compression. Not only are we developing to the emerging H.265 codec, but we're also having enhanced H.264 with our H.264 plus encoding algorithms. And this is completely based upon and compatible with H.264. So third-party integration can use our H.264 plus on their H.264 platforms. And what we've done is we've combined some intelligent predictive encoding, meaning a more efficient use of iframes and p-frames, some noise suppression, which can add to bandwidth issues, and long-term bit rate control to be able to allow the system to dynamically adjust bit rate depending upon the scene. And these are been shown to be able to reduce storage in some scenes by up to 75%, and in normal high traffic scenes up to 50%. Combine that with multi-stream and variable bit rate recording, and each of these is going to not only increase network efficiencies, but they're going to lower storage requirements. I got a couple examples of that, of H.264 versus H.265. And you can visit our YouTube channel, the Hikvision corporate YouTube channel, to be able to see any of these clips. They're available there. But you can see at H.264, we're running at about 4 megabits per second compared to H.264 plus at about 1.4 megabits per second on the same scene. In addition, a nighttime scene in the same crossroads, again, we're going to see a dramatic improvement in H.264 plus over H.264. And so in a 24-hour period, you can see that by utilizing our H.264 plus algorithm, you're going to dramatically save on hard disk space in that amount of time. But that's not it. Compression is really only part of the story. And so Hikvision has endeavored to improve some software capabilities to be able to further enhance performance. And two of those are defog and ROI display, or region of interest display and recording. And we invite you to go to our website, hikvision.com, to be able to read the white papers on these. And so with the defog function, basically what we're doing is we're using an atmospheric optics theory to be able to distinguish the depth of field and the fog densities within a scene, and then use a filter process to arrive at a defogged an image. And you can see an example of a pre-image and a post-image right there. Region of interest display and recording allows us to prioritize within a scene a given area. So for instance, in this scene, the trees and the building may not be important. Really what we're concerned about in this scene, although we want to have access to the entire scene, is the gate there to the parking lot. And so we can set a region of interest on that gate and be able to maintain frame rate and maintain resolution and be able to capture things like license plates or details of people or vehicles going in and out of those areas. And we can set up different regions to be able to allow us to really prioritize the areas in the scene. And all of these further reduce the network transmission and the potential storage requirements in the system. Talk a little bit about analytics. And analytics allow us to produce tagged events. It allows us to prioritize areas within a scene, whether they be areas where we don't want people to be or we want people to be. And it allows us to really tag and store those events. And we have a feature in our DVRs called Smart Recording and Playback that allows us to analyze those tagged events much more quickly, so that when we are using analytics, we're able to go back into the video and be able to pull those events out in a much faster way, improving the overall performance of the system. When we talk about analytics, Hikvision offers as standard on all of their smart camera series the suite of analytics that you see across the bottom. And these can include things like region interest. So if you have a sterile area, as an example in these two images, that you don't want something to be and something drives into that area or moves into that area, you can get alert, whether it's an email or the video coming up on the screen, or it can be tagged for recording and playback later. But we're able to really do a lot of functions that really kind of take the user or the user interface out of the system and be able to make a smarter, more effective, and more versatile system. Also, we're incorporating in our products analytics for retail and business metrics, including heat map and object counting. So in certain areas, we can produce data for businesses to be able to understand better how their business is being operated, where people are spending their time within an establishment, and how many people are going in and going out of that establishment. Now let's talk about low light performance, which was another topic that was of interest for the debateTECH session today. Hikvision has recently introduced our dark-fighter technology. And really what this is doing is it's in employing a larger sensor, a larger format sensor. We're going to a half-inch sensor. We're using an improved lens with an f-stop of 0.95 and a WDR capability up to 120 dB. And what this is able to do is able to produce images and scenes that would otherwise be impossible to really get any kind of detail out of. And again, I'd invite you to go to our YouTube channel to view this video in full, which shows a few different scenes and capabilities there. But anyway, in the scene on the right, you see a standard 2-megapixel camera. The sun is obviously down. You've got some lights in the background. But with the dark-fighter technology, you can see that the capability of that lens and that WDR, as well as the larger format sensor, allows us to be able to see that scene much more clearly. We've also gone to increased our IR performance with cameras in very, very dark scenes by going to our EXIR technology, replacing DIT LEDs and standard LED arrays. And this is an advanced film thin film technology that produces 30% increases in efficiency, 25% increases in range, produces better heat dissipation, which leads to longer life cycles, has lower power requirements, and we also produce a lens on top of that that is able to match a 16:9 or a 4:3 screen so that we get better coverage and we get better exposure, and those things are integrated into the camera like the camera that you see on the image right there. So in conclusion, when considering a partner, we think it's very important to consider the full range of products that you need for a system, whether it's cameras, recorders, or other accessories. Hikvision is able to deliver these technologies, and we're constantly innovating them and trying to move them forward. And every day our team of security professionals are out there at work with our customers to be able to provide high-performing, affordable solutions that utilize all of these technologies. Thank you.
David, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We're going to get into the Q&A, and we're going to jump into this real quick. Folks out there, I do think we're probably going to run over, so if you're able to stay and stick around with us as we continue on after the 3 o'clock time frame, that would be great. We may go 10 minutes over. So panelists, I will ask the question. You have 1 minute to answer. At that point, you're going to hear bell. All right. If you are continuing with just to finish your question, we'll give you 30 more seconds. You hear the second bell, you're done. Okay. We move on. So I'm going to send this first question. It's going to be James, Tom, and David. Okay. Question is, how did your product suite serve to migrate customers from analog to IP systems?
Okay, so I would say that if your existing analog cameras are meeting your operational requirement, there's no need to really swap them out or replace them. The reality is that a lot of people are moving to IP-based systems, so you may want additional functionality out of those existing analog cameras. Axis offers a full suite of network video encoders from 1 port up to rack-mountable solutions of 84 ports of analog video. So you can leverage those existing investment in analog cameras, but bring them into the networked world through video encoding. Essentially, once you've done that, you've created a network camera out of that analog camera.
Excellent.
Beat the bell.
Tom.
So we offer 2 different solutions. One is we offer a full, the people are trying to move, if they're changing their security system, they're looking for better resolution for identification and recognition. So we offer 2 solutions to make that happen. One is we offer a full analog HD solution that's backwards compatible to their existing system. So all they have to do is change out the cameras or the DVR, and they can get their full HD and upgrade their system, probably, doubling the resolution. Obviously, we have, encoders in our line also, but we really focus on if they want to go IP, our Wisnet 3 line is a hybrid camera. It offers a full simultaneous analog line out with your IP. So you could take a system and put it into an analog system, put an IP camera, Wisnet 3, into an analog system, and then when they're ready to convert from a DVR to an NVR, they can switch those cameras over and utilize the IP portion of it. So again, this is what we promote, how to migrate over from analog or stay at analog and then migrate over if you'd like.
Perfect. David?
Well, in addition to a very robust offer of IP solutions, Hikvision offers the Turbo HD product range, which features tri-brid DVRs that are able to simultaneously record our HD TVI cameras, standard analog cameras, and IP cameras. And this capability allows users to leverage their existing analog infrastructure while creating a bridge to migrate to that analog system to an HD TVI or IP at the pace and cost that fits their budget. Analog was the original plug and play. You connected the BNC and you had video. Our Turbo HD products automatically, our DVRs automatically detect the input signal, whether it's CVBS, 720p, or 1080p, and configures the input accordingly. And that's going to also be true with our soon-to-be-released 3-megapixel turbo products. All units are going to support IP cameras, but some are also going to permit you to disable analog inputs as you increase your IP usage. And so our plug-and-play IP makes it very easy for analog customers to go directly to IP by making installation very simple.
Excellent, thank you. Question number 2. This is going to Tom, David, and then James. Intelligent cameras with onboard analytics are said to be underutilized. What challenges hold back adoption, and how is your company addressing them? And what is your model for providing customers the latest in such analytics? Tom.
So, yeah, thank you. So I think education is what what can help analytics and what they can do for the customer, and the education to the integrator on how to sell the analytics. And finally, training. Training the integrator on how to set up analytics and how they work properly for their application. What we provide is, and again, we don't really see them underutilized because we see a lot of our analytics being used. We provide training courses on our analytic that are free in the WiseNet 3 product, and show self-paced courses, video courses on how to install these analytics, program them on our device manager, and then set them up remotely. And then you ask, what is the model for providing customers with the latest of such analytics? We've been offering free analytics in our cameras since 2013. All the cameras can take over the platform, and you can add to them even now. So as long as they have the most recent firmware, they can turn around and say, I want that camera to be in LPR, and they can add that software today, backwards compatible to those analytics. So again, we are showing the customer that if you buy a camera today of a WiseNet 3 capability, you can push that into a people counting, queue management, LPR, anytime you're ready, and your budgets you're comfortable with adding that at any time.
Excellent. David.
Well, similar to when IP video was first introduced, analytics were initially oversold and underdelivered. From those early days, analytics have become better and are becoming standard on many manufacturers' cameras. Still, doubt does remain about their effectiveness. We believe that analytics can play a key role in reducing bandwidth and storage requirements, especially as the industry moves to ever higher pixel count cameras. That said, all Hikvision Smart Series cameras feature, at no additional cost, a full suite of analytics built into and programmable at the camera. These include line cross, intrusion, region, entrance and exit, object left or removed, scene change, sudden audio increase or decrease, audio loss, defocus, counting, and defog. And another standard feature which we offer, which is region of interest recording, is available to further address bandwidth and storage requirements, another effective tool with high pixel count cameras. Of course, all of these outstanding features and capabilities are best realized in an end-to-end Hikvision system, including our IVMS 4200 that support analytics by allowing users to search and play back video recorded using analytics.
Excellent. James?
Okay, so the challenges, I think the biggest thing are three things: perception, ease of use, and education. I agree, perception analytics had a rough start. Companies were overselling capabilities, weren't delivering on them. Processing power has increased greatly year over year, will continue to do so, which means that these analytics are going to get better at what they do. Ease of use, this is also a perception issue, as most people think that analytics are difficult to install, difficult to maintain, use, etc. Again, back to performance, increasing year over year, these analytics are going to get easier and easier to install. And then I agree what Tom said, education. Integrators need to be trained by manufacturers. We have to stand behind our products, train our integrators and system developers to ensure that they're setting proper expectations, installing them correctly. As far as how we go to market, just like the other two panelists, Axis has a baseline of onboard analytics that we include with all of our products. We really rely on the open ecosystem of partners to develop additional suites of analytics that can be added and loaded onto any of our cameras, essentially turning that camera into and repurposing it for whatever type of situation you might have a need for with regards to intelligent cameras. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Next question is going to go David, James, Tom. As far as industry trends, where do you see the surveillance market headed, and what do you see as the next big trend in video security camera system technology?
Well, broadly speaking, we're seeing ever higher pixel counts, better encoding algorithms, better analytics, more mobile apps. We're seeing an exploding home automation market. The Internet of Things is a buzzword that's providing increased connectivity, and we're seeing decreasing costs. So really, this is a pretty big question. It could speak to potentially proprietary development that we're engaged in right now. But suffice it to say that these are all things that we are looking at, and I think they're going to continue to trend forward towards more automation, less user intervention, and increased, better data mining, better use of the data that's actually being produced by the video security system.
All right, thank you. James?
So I agree with David. I think resolution will continue to be a factor, but I think that arms race is starting to slow down as security practitioners realize that adding more pixels to the problem doesn't always solve it. Taking some of that processing power and utilizing it for other image and usability enhancement capabilities, such as wide dynamic range forensic capture, which I showed earlier, optimized IR, and other technologies that can help security practitioners actually leverage the video that they're recording. I think cybersecurity is a really big trend on the horizon. In fact, it's probably going to be talked about by a lot of industry associations. Continuing from 2015 into 2016, I think enterprise organizations and even mid-level organizations will start to evaluate the merits of a product based on its cyber threat capability as well. I think security professionals need to start looking at it as they do any other threat and doing a threat and vulnerability analysis when it comes to video products, really determine what's the probability of a breach and the criticality of one if it does happen. And I do think analytics will continue to get better. We need to be more proactive with our video. Less than 1% of that video is ever recorded is actually viewed. Well, what are we missing? Humans are really horrible at watching video and finding stuff. Everyone that's on here should Google the invisible gorilla, go through that little exercise and learn firsthand what inattentional blindness is, and you'll understand that the impact of video, that analytics will have on video, could really help shape the future of our industry.
Thank you, James. Tom?
We're already seeing, big data, or we're seeing more data because of higher megapixel, and we're not going to be able to stop that because it's the customer that wants that. The customer continues to see 4K and now 8K TVs out there, so they're asking us always, are you, up to the technology in the security industry? So whether it's here or not, but it's coming. So we saw 4K introduced, and now it's becoming somewhat of a standard, but people aren't pushing for it because the data being captured. So we need better compression and analytics to do that. What we do see the industry, the trend, and the next trend is that the camera becomes the brain. Years ago, it was always the VMS system or the head-end system had all the brains and the power and the decision making. We're seeing that now that the cameras have analytics, the cameras have compression. We're going to see it take another step forward where the cameras now have storage and management control. Next thing you'll see is SSD being planted in the cameras, so they'll be their own NVRs. But more importantly, you roll that across the cameras. So one camera in a location can monitor 2, 3, 4 cameras at a time, and the camera is now making that decision before it gets on the drive, in the camera, or up to an NVR, or even remote. So again, that's why I think we're going to see the video systems changing.
Excellent. This next question, it's going to talk to what, James, you just said in terms of cyber. And James, you're going to be up first, and then Tom, and then David. Network cybersecurity issues are a concern of our increasingly connected world. How do you handle network security of your IP solutions to help guard against a customer's information being compromised? And as a manufacturer, how do you protect your cameras against cybersecurity breaches before placing them in the market?
Great.
James, you're up.
So, absolutely. Thanks, Tim. So most breaches are termed opportunistic hacks, which basically means people exploit known vulnerabilities in a product. Really, manufacturers, if they don't publish this information, they really put their customers at risk. That's the premise of the common vulnerabilities and exploits reporting that we do, and just about any other IT company in the world does with their products. You publish this, you let people know about it, and then you tell them how they can stop that potential exploit. Manufacturers have an obligation to provide channels for their customers to submit these vulnerabilities when they find them and to act on them in a timely manner. And frankly, education is key, because a lot of the hacks that happen are due to your own personnel within your own environment who unbeknownstly, click on a link in an email, which is a really standard way of this happening. But education for how to harden a product. So you should be asking your camera manufacturers for a hardening guide that will teach you what to do, how to make the cameras more secure. We all try to make our cameras very easy to work with and easy to install and use. And when you do so, sometimes that means that you're leaving some things open. And if you don't shut those things down by reading a hardening guide and doing that, you might be leaving yourselves open to vulnerabilities. So manufacturers need to report, they need to educate, and they need to close the holes when they happen.
Thanks, James. Tom, you're up.
So cybersecurity is extremely important nowadays, and we are being asked again by our customers exactly how we do it and how we protect their network. So, Hanwha has taken extreme measures of adding in security, cybersecurity measures in the 4-layer platform, how to protect our cameras within the password protection, no backdoors, disabling guest accounts, and a lot of detailed stuff that we're putting in all of our camera products that I believe is above and beyond what's being done in the industry. On top of that, I think it's important is to provide the information not only for what we feel as a leader of the industry within a white paper and educational seminars. We have a BICSI accredited course just on cybersecurity that we provide to consultants, and we provide it at our meetings and dealer meetings and out in the industry, but also have third-party testing our product. So I think it's important for us not just to sit there and say, we do this, we do that, we do this, but actually confirm it with a third party out in the industry like Europe does with Benchmark and other companies out there, so the industry understands that this is a standard now, and this is what we need to produce to protect the people that are installing this product, so they're not held liable for something that could eventually happen.
Thanks, Tom. David?
Sure. Well, first of all, I'd like to invite anyone interested in what Hikvision is doing regarding cybersecurity to visit the Security Center on our website. We have a white paper there, we've got 2 webinars, and we've got many other resources all pertaining to cybersecurity. It includes information and tools for integrators and end users. And the simple fact is that any online device has the potential to be hacked. However, proper training can reduce the associated cost of hacking by an average of 76%, as reported by sourcesecurity.com. And Hikvision is fully committed to addressing cybersecurity at every level of the organization, from the design of products, firmware enhancements, and implementation. And to then promote training and best practices to our organization, to our customers, and to our user base on how best to protect our systems. At our headquarters, we have implemented a global security initiative responsible for testing, setting standards, creating security components for our product series, and setting up defensive testing with third-party security companies. One of these third parties is Rapid7, a well-known US-based internet security company, whom we've engaged to perform penetration testing and vulnerability assessments on all Hikvision products. In addition to that, we've implemented a new password initiative, which is a secure password strategy that requires users to use a secure password with a strength test. This secure activation procedure has changed the way all of our customers operate their equipment. It does not allow anyone to use a default username or password, while also improving and in addition to that, we're also improving firmware options that allow users to change default ports to make IP appliances less visible on the network. And we also make available a variety of software tools and make firmware and software updates much more easier. So we're very committed to this. Okay.
Sorry about that. One more question here. Cameras are, and this is going to Tom, then David, then James. Cameras are often referred to as sensors. How do you see the camera sensor being used in non-traditional scenarios that are or could be complementary to traditional security applications? Tom, that's
Is that for me, Tim? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So again, I think the analytics lend itself perfectly for cameras to become sensors, to be other than a video capturing device. And that's where all of us have been focused on, of how we can take the customer's problems and come up with solutions. To do that with our app program and work with partners or create our own apps is like, apps for your phone. And we're doing that now. A lot of it is focused on the analytics and things, that we do, whether it's vehicle or person or gender, or whatever. But that will take another step in the future. And in the very near future, you're already seeing things of people counting and queue management for retail applications. That becomes a great marketing tool. So they're taking the loss prevention cameras and they're creating a marketing tool and adding to that heat mapping. The future of that is really the next step is really exciting. Taking the camera and making it a health provider, taking it into the healthcare market, putting a camera in a hospital room, and then supporting and monitoring a patient's health by identifying heat in different areas of the body that they can sense. So this is some exciting stuff that we can then take the camera into whole different markets other than security.
Thanks. David?
Yeah, well, advanced CMOS technology has significantly reduced the cost to manufacture cameras while ushering dramatic increases in pixel density. I think it's very easy to visualize camera sensors being used to replace and enhance traditional sensors in the security market, whether it's PIR-type sensors in alarm systems or to increase efficiencies in building automation and in other areas. With the increasing processing speed, denser storage, analytics, lower cost to manufacture, better data mining, it is likely that we're going to see sensors designed in applications that are complementary to video security systems while leveraging the same network and recording resources. So examples of this are already being considered in HVAC systems with light and temperature controls. So it's not hard to see cameras and analytics to control elevators, for instance, to improve the parking experience around buildings, to anticipate employees before they reach an access control panel on a building. Retail marketing is another example where video is being used for marketing and customer metrics. The Internet of Things, that concept is speeding up the thinking around all aspects of interconnectivity and fostering the growing home automation movement. And if you really think about it, you think of thermal and how it is evolving into the security industry. I don't think it's hard to imagine how these kinds of sensors can be used, with that video capability beyond what they're traditionally used for now.
Thanks, David. James? James, you still there?
I'm still here. Sorry, I was on mute there. I have to agree with David and Tom. They covered things pretty nicely there. We agree. Cameras are going to be repurposed, and they're going to be repurposed for other uses such as video and business analytics. So one of the things that Axis provides and has been providing for the last decade or more is a consistent API interface for developers out there to create applications that run on our products. That being said, there's going to be an ongoing proliferation of products out there and new analytics that come out. Thermal was mentioned. Yeah, thermal is getting more cost effective. So you're going to start to see folks deploying thermal cameras with onboard analytics, not only for finding and detecting intruders, but maybe different temperatures of equipment and manufacturing installations. But I really think it's the business applications that are going to really drive things. I also think from a physical security perspective, if we can start looking at and relying on video as another sensor, dual sensor technology in different products is one of the ways to decrease false alarms or false positives. And if we can start integrating video with other sensors together, that's going to really help the security practitioner. Take, for instance, smoke detection. So video has been proven to be able to detect smoke in some situations long before a smoke detector or a heat detector will ever detect that situation. So video could be an early warning system for fires, for instance.
Okay. James, stay with me here because I have one more question because I want to hear all this again real quick. Let's make believe we're going up an elevator, one floor. You've got 30 seconds. That's it, all of you, 30 seconds to this last question to talk about compression. One more time. We've heard it a lot, but help us understand where we are as a market right now in terms of H.265.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it, H.265 is the future of video compression in the security industry. I think that there are some licensing and royalty issues right now that need to be considered, which are slowing down the adoption of it. But the fact of the matter is that security companies, manufacturers are developing ways to leverage existing H.264 to gain the same kind of savings that you would get out of H.265 as an interim step. And those same technologies will be able to be applied to H.265 when it comes out.
Perfect. David, how about you?
Well, yeah, and I would tend to agree with that. I think that you know, this is something that is very important to the market, especially as we see pixel counts increasing. We definitely have to continue to evolve encoding and compression algorithms. It's certainly something that we've done with H.264 plus, and I think it's not too far of a stretch to consider that we wouldn't also be looking at ways to improve H.265 when it does come out, while still maintaining the standard and conforming to the standard. So,
great. All right, Tom.
Well, at this point, I'm going to have to disagree with my colleagues. They keep saying H.265 when it comes out. It's out. They just haven't gotten there yet, and so, I can't help that. We have a full line of cameras. We have a full line of NVRs. We support H.265. Yes, it's coming, but it's here already, and they're going to go that way. It's just not there for them yet, and they will. It's just like guys who didn't have multiplexers and they sold quads years ago, and they sold against multiplexers because they didn't have it. It's here, it's been here, all our cameras have it, and the best part is we're backwards compatible, so you can put it on your H.264 system, and if you don't have our NVRs, and when you do get a VMS system that supports it, Genetech, Milestone, and others are supporting it this summer, so we expect it to go further. Thanks.
We had 30 seconds there. You ran 45. All right, no, let's thank you guys. I appreciate your responses. I think it was a good debate tech. I do have a polling question I'm going to ask the audience real quick, and so bear with me here 1 second. I'm going to launch the polling question, and let's see. So based on the presentations, who do you think was the quote-unquote winner of debateTECH? Polling is in progress. It's close. Oh boy. Extremely close. I'm going to give it another 5 seconds. Holy smokes. Okay, I'm closing the poll. So the winner is at 39%. So that's how close it was. It's just a few points between each of you, but the winner today, according to our audience, is Hikvision. So thank you. And the audience doesn't know this, but one of the things that we're going to be doing is, since Security Systems News is here in the great state of Maine, I'm going to be sending 12 live lobster to the winners. So nonetheless, Hikvision has taken the honor. I do want to thank Hikvision, Hanwha Techwin America, and Axis Communications for their participation today. And again, the voting was like right neck and neck. It's just unbelievable. So thank you for participating in debateTECH. I thank you guys for joining us. You did a great job. I do want to announce that our next debateTECH is going to be held on August 3rd, and it's debateTECH Access Control. So it'll be another interesting group of sponsors. Nonetheless, that's it for debateTECH. Thank you guys, and thank you all for attending. Appreciate it.